How many syllables do you all think vampire has?
2.
I would
3.
say 2 myself.
Vampire.
Are you saying vampire, Ash?
Vampire.
Yeah, see, she says vampire. Some people say vampire.
For me, it's because I'm from the Great Lakes region. We say tal, we say vampire.
I mean, I am too, Esper, but no, that's a 3-syllable word to me. Okay, so how many syllables is the thing that you fry chicken in or put in your car every 6 months?
I think it's oil.
Yeah, that's 2 syllables.
That's 2 syllables.
It's a diphthong, guys.
But then you have people that say oil.
Wow.
Oil.
Oil's still one word to me.
Oil is one.
Oil.
Oil.
There's one vowel sound, one consonant sound. That's a syllable, baby.
Yeah. Yep. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
I guess we'll never get it. We'll never get to the bottom of it. Someone was trying to make martial arts robo vampire into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meme thing. That's where this came from.
No, that's a mess.
And it's one syllable too few. And even if you get it right, you have to break up the word in a bad way. Doesn't work.
Wait, anyway. So what's the word again? What's the phrase?
Martial arts, like that.
Martial arts robo vampire is what they are suggesting.
The way that it would work is martial art is robo vampire. Martial art is robo vampire.
Martial arts robo vampire.
No,
that's a different song.
Yeah,
that's not right.
No,
I don't like any of this.
Yeah.
Chuck Lorre would be very upset by this.
Guys, I gotta go.
Striker to the line. Leg it. This is episode 449 of Insert Credit, a podcast where some of the most interesting people we know are assembled to answer questions about video games for some reason. I'm Alex Jaffe, and my rookie card #1 podcast appearance, I believe, would be in a 2011 episode of the Select Button podcast with our friend Topher Florence, where I hosted an April Fool's segment where I was just reading the top 10 video games on GameRankings.com like a Watch Mojo video.
I'm Ash Parrish, and my #1 rookie podcast appearance, I have to guess, would be maybe Split Screen, unless, Jaffe, you got to me before I appeared on Split Screen, the Kotaku podcast from the Kotaku before the Kotaku that is the Kotaku now. But I'm not sure, but that's my best guess.
I think you were on like season 3 of Kotaku, and now we're on like 6.
Yeah.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, and boy, that's a hard thing to remember. It's not something I've paid attention to. What podcasts was I on? I might have been on Retronauts before this. Maybe
someone will take it up.
Something that's my best guess. My best guess is I was on some Retronauts episode.
Talking about Bonk.
Talking about PC Engine somehow.
Yeah.
Talking about the Saturn. I don't know. Talking about Taito maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think that's it, but it could have been anything. I think I was on a Gama Sutra podcast. I was on a GDC podcast. Briefly though, what years did that happen? That's all lost to time. Nobody knows.
We got a guest on the show this week. We got the fellow who taught me how to podcast, though we've never spoken before. He's the host of Jordan Jesse Go, along with previous guest Jordan Morris, bailiff on the Judge John Hodgman podcast, host of NPR's Bullseye, and amongst other credits, the founder of the Maximum Fun Podcast Network. We've got here Jesse Thorn, our good buddy Jesse Thorn is here. Hi, Jesse.
Hey, gang. How are you? I thought when you said monks, I was sure you were saying monk.
Yeah.
I never been on Monk.
No?
But I think they're rebooting it, so put me in Monk.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Our rules are that you can't talk about a video game unless you've played it exactly 10 times. That's how the Monk video game podcast works.
Great. Got it.
Yeah.
And what was your podcast rookie thingy?
I think my podcasts were my first podcasts. I was trying to think of what the podcast was that was the first time I was ever a guest on a podcast. And it might have been my friend Jimmy Pardo and Matt Belknap's show Never Not Funny 1,000 years ago. But it might have been a different podcast.
Someone will fact check that. It's buried on a wiki, which has been discontinued and can only be accessed through archive.org somewhere. So our first question this week, in the proud tradition of Jordan, Jesse, Go, is one where I imagine Jesse will have absolutely nothing to say, because I want to talk specifically to Ash right now about SDGQ, which you have been inundated with this week. What's been going on in the speedrunning video game community this week?
Oh man, so much. So, Jesse, if you're not familiar, twice a year, there's a charity speedrunning event called Games Done Quick. Right now, we're in the middle of Summer Games Done Quick, where it's a week-long speedrunning event, 24/7, where a bunch of people get together and play video games as fast as possible, and they're raising money for Doctors Without Borders. It's a really beautiful, like, community thing that, like, reminds me that when the video game industry itself is, like, on fire, that the community of people will always come together and, like, do amazing, beautiful things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just so much to talk about, like so many really good, really fun, really entertaining runs. I wrote a blog about it on Kotaku. It is not a comprehensive list at all, but some of the things that come up off the top of my head, we're just going to do recency bias, because a Balatro run just finished where a guy was trying to like break the game by getting so high a score that the game can't count anymore. They're getting ready to do a Tetris tournament like right now as we're speaking. This is so helpful to all the people who are listening, because this will be like 3 and 4 days old by the time you hear this. But all of the VODs will be up on YouTube, so you can watch it then. What else? There was a really cool Sonic run last night. There was a Woo % for Hollow Knight Silk Song. And I'm going to like tear up thinking about it, because it's so adorable, because the object of the game was to rescue all of the little fleas. And then every time you rescued a flea, everybody in the audience went, oh, woo. It was really cute. Yeah, that's a very, very brief snippet of what's going on. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. I can't recommend it enough.
Any dogs this year?
No dogs this year. One of the things they've done in years past is that they've had speedrunning dogs, where they have like special controllers and like a specially trained dog that can hit the controller with the right command. And like a couple years ago, we had a Shiba that was playing, what was it, Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball game. It was really good. It was really good.
That seems hard.
It was very hard, but it was very fun.
I saw a little bit of the Mr. Bones run, because you
Wait, is Mr. Bones the name of the dog or the game?
It's a game. It's a
question.
Oh, okay.
It's a difficult Saturn game, which we actually played on this show a few months ago. I do like when they have two or more speedrunners competing for time, and that's always fun. But yeah, it was like they were playing a different game than the one I played, because they were playing the easier Japanese version, and they were like, "Oh yeah, there's this easy." This easy on rails segment, so we don't really have to pay attention right now, and that's the place where I completely stopped playing, because it was impossible. The underwater section is just like you can't do it. Anyway, SGDQ is fun. I wish I could watch more of that stuff, but like I said, I can't listen to people talk and type things at the same time. And since my job is mostly typing things, they use the same part of my brain.
Right.
They take equal position in it, and they're fighting. They're fighting all the time. So
this is famously why you can only watch kind of good movies while you work.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. Jesse, you did a series that I was really into a couple years ago called Gracie's Game Gauntlet, where your actual human child forced you and your friend from college to play through the worst games she knew about. I guarantee, I am like 90% sure if you asked her what Mr. Bones was, she would know what Mr. Bones is.
What games did she have you play?
We played Superman for Nintendo 64,
sure.
Which that one might have been the worst one that we played, but only because it was so hard and boring.
Yeah.
Hard in the sense that it was impossible to press the right button at the right time because the controls were so messed up. That one was more of a nightmare of frustrations. We played, you know what? We played through Wayne's World for
that was hard.
Super Nintendo. And I'll tell you what, Wayne's World for Super Nintendo could have been a lot worse. Maybe it's just my fondness for Wayne's World in general, but it had a lot of cute sound clips and little funny animations. It did not make sense that it was a Wayne's World game. Garth shot some kind of laser gun.
Right.
But it did have cute Wayne's World stuff in it, and it was just sort of a C- platform game.
You're filling in for Frank Cifaldi today, who often has that opinion that licensed platform games of that era kind of get a bad rap. one of the reasons we booked you. The other reason is because, as per the latest version of our charter, we need to have somebody who was interviewed by Costco magazine to represent their profession on the show at all times.
Can you imagine how exciting it was to get an email that said, I'm a freelance reporter based in Montreal for Costco Connection?
Yeah.
I've heard you're a member and would like to talk to you about podcasting. Oh, dear Lord. Truly the highlight of my life, with all apologies to the birth of my 3 beautiful children, my marriage to my wife, my graduation from high school and college, to get that email from Costco Connection.
Frank Cifaldi got that same email to represent video game preservation. They just kind of Mad Libs'd it.
Oh, what a dream.
Are these print magazines? I want to read this.
I'm sorry, did you say are these print magazines, or did you say are these the highest circulation print magazines in the United States?
I don't know, Paul. I'm sorry.
The answer to both is actually yes.
See,
Nice.
we don't have, we have Costco's, but none in a 20-mile radius of where I live. It's just Sam's Club. I'm stuck with the inferior Sam's Club. If I could have a Costco membership, I would go get one right now. I want this.
I'm sure Frank has copy.
It's $60. It's worth it just for the magazine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Subscriptions used to cost that. I was just looking it up, and the last game released by Gray Matter Incorporated, the developer of Wayne's World for Super Nintendo, was the Crow City of Angels before they went out of business, and that has definitely been on some bad game.
Is that another big head platformer where you jump on guys who killed your girlfriend?
It's a 3D brawler with fixed camera where you can get knocked part of the way out of the screen, but not all the way out of the screen. So you can't really see where you are, and the controls get confused, and it's that kind of a thing.
A bad God hand.
Yeah.
That actually brings me quite nicely to my next question. I wanted to ask us all, how are old bad games bad differently than the way new bad games are bad?
I'm going to start here because this is my children's special interest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's distributed. My daughter Grace, who's my oldest child, loves older bad games. I think she started watching YouTubers that review old bad games, like retro games in general at first, and then she went down the rabbit hole of folks who review old bad games. And my middle child, Scarlett, has a habit of, she has these friends that she games with online that are really sort of very important to her social life. And they will buy $3 games or $2 games on PlayStation Marketplace. And the thing about the older ones is someone had to buy the rights to make a Nintendo game. You know what I mean? Somebody had to put some real coin into getting that little seal on the cartridge to make a Nintendo game. But at the same time,
they had to pay for a minum order of cards and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like buying a licensed your company logo bucket hat. You had to at least order 1,000.
Yeah.
But they also didn't know how to make video games. There was more of a quality of 15% of the video games on the market having been made by a guy who happened to be friends with a guy's neighbor, and the third guy asked his neighbor, do you know anybody that knows how to make video games? I've got a good idea, right? And that guy owns a pizza franchise or something. He's like, the kids love video games. I got $50,000. I'll just find a computer guy and make, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that was true in the, especially in the Atari 2600 era, there was a lot of that sort of stuff. But to your point, indeed, in the earlier days, sometimes games were bad because they were figuring something out. They didn't know how to do something. People didn't know how cameras should work, how controls should be. You go back and play something and jump in attack or reverse, and you're just like, this is not right. I can't deal with this. But people are just figuring it out.
The newer games are often either an ironic joke or a trick. They may also just be completely broken because you can put almost anything into one of these online download stores. But I would say it's just like somebody was like, yeah, air conditioner repair simulator, and just spent a week doing it as a school project or something. Or it's called Ken Graffy Jr.'s baseball.
I would ironically argue that air conditioning repair simulator is probably a good game, like a bad example, because those simulator games, as tongue-in-cheek as they are kind of good. Like we hear power washing simulator and we think, oh, what a funny joke. And then you play and like, actually, this has gas. And I think that's kind of filtered out into all the different kinds of simulators. That's not true for all of them, but like I have a lot more respect than I think I would have for something like that, because Power Wash Simulator, as goofy as it is, wound up being very, very good.
We just did an ocean cruise for one of my shows, Judge John Hodgman, on a wooden sailing ship called the Grace Bailey in Maine. And we had a wonderful time. And one of the dudes that was on that cruise was telling me that he spends much of his free time playing a long haul trucking simulator.
Oh yeah. Like those games are legit.
Yeah, big in the Germany. But yeah, I see your point though, because there are a lot of the quickly made, janky made games, and we won't even talk about the AI nonsense. A lot of the quickly made games are like an attempt to capitalize on something, but in a faster, more incurious way than a Wayne's World for Super Nintendo. Power Wash Simulator is good, and so like Wash Down My Driveway Simulator gets made in 2 weeks with stolen assets, and that's
on Roblox.
But I have one recommendation for your child. There is a game called Call of Ponchi, which I put on my Game of the Year list last year, which just got an English patch. I don't know about the quality yet. I haven't updated since then. But it is a game that evokes the older era of this. This is more like the I had a fun idea type of place where this is coming from. It's a third person shooter where the secondary aim is to create a mahjong hand of tiles as you're walking around. When you need to get rid of a tile to kind of form your hand, you throw your extra tile like a bomb, and then it turns into several goblins that will attack other players. It has like 20 reviews on Steam. Tell them to give that one a look.
It makes sense. It sounds like a good video game.
Yeah. It's real. It's just makes sense.
All right. I'm going out on a limb here because I suspect, although I have never heard you talk about this game, that you might be familiar with it given your background and interest in hip hop history and culture. How familiar are you with the Def Jam Vendetta series?
Okay, it was either that or Parappa the Rapper. I had one of those Def Jam games. I had the one that was like a fighting game where you can be Scarface and fight against Ludacris.
That's exactly the one I'm talking about.
Real talk, that was a pretty fun game.
Yeah,
that was a pretty rock solid game. I mean, I say that as somebody that has the kind of vested interest in pretending to be Dub C, putting a beat down on Jay-Z or whatever that somebody would have, somebody listening to this might have in like being Mankind or, Stone Cold Steve Austin or something. But yeah, I remember that being a pretty good, pretty fun game.
Yeah, it's good. And I'll share my facts that I share every time this game comes up, which is that the Japanese version has 2 Japanese rappers in it that are exclusive to the Japanese version, Dabo and S-Word. They're right on the cover. So just, if you need more of that, Def Jam Vendetta, Japanese version.
We did play the Wu-Tang Clan game for Gracie's Game Gauntlet, the Wu-Tang Clan fighting game.
That's true. I forgot that.
No, wait. Maybe we played the Shaq. Maybe we played both of them.
I know you played Shaq Fu
and the Wu-Tang game. Anyway, I have played the Wu-Tang game. Those are less good.
They have a new one coming out soon. Hopefully. Yeah. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but Evan Narcisse, former journalist at Kotaku, was working on it.
Well, that's great, because I was going to ask us to come up with a revival for this series. Instead, we're going to predict what's going to happen in the next game. What do you do in a Def Jam fighting game release for, let's say, Q4 2027?
She was saying there's going to be a new Wu-Tang game, right?
Oh, yeah. Wu-Tang, not a Def Jam game.
Not a Def Jam.
No,
it's a Wu-Tang game.
No, I've got a friend, shout out to Zoe Tennell, who recently has been live blogging her playthrough of Def Jam Vendetta and got to a section where you get to choose between Carmen Electra and Lil Kim to be your girlfriend in the game because you beat up their boyfriend. Who do you cast and what do you do for we're bringing back Def Jam, the fighting game series game now?
Well, since it's a sequel, I'm going to get regular sized Kim.
Yeah, normal Kim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just normal Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I cast
Wayne.
Megan Thee Stallion and have her beat up the guy who shot her. That's just like a scripted event, like Bayonetta style, like completely like use her like hair to like beat the crap out of this guy. That's just my particular desire
good,
for this game.
I also want a Megan Thee Stallion minigame that is basically just Uma Musume.
Because she's a horse. Yes,
she's a horse.
Also, boo.
I think both of you bring up an interesting point. I think what has changed a lot in hip hop since the first Def Jam games came out is that there are a lot more female artists in the conversation, whereas the rosters of these games as playable characters were, I believe, entirely male. I think we could do a ladies version.
Okay, so here's my pitches. Number one, I have, if Lil Kim is regular Kim, then instead of making a Sprite can disappear in her mouth, she makes a 2-liter bottle disappear in her mouth. That's my Lil Kim joke. Okay. My Wu-Tang Clan joke is if we make a sequel to the Wu-Tang Clan video game, it's also a remake of Crazy Taxi, but you're Capadonna, who is a member of the Wu-Tang Clan, now famous for driving a cab because he didn't do that well after being in the Wu-Tang Clan.
Those
good. Are probably too deep of cuts to mean anything to 97% of your audience, but hopefully there's 6 people
you
out
would
there.
Be surprised.
You would be.
Really putting those pieces together.
The British version of that Wu-Tang Clan will be called the Wu-Tang Consortium is nothing to be trifled with. I think.
Really channeling Ash's husband Travis's interest in chap hop there.
Yeah, you're just
it's really funny because MC Chris is doing a show nearby and I sent it to him like, hey, do you want to go to this? And he's like, I kind of only know 4 songs, so maybe not. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Even though you don't think he's not going to perform those 4 songs.
He would, I know. So I was surprised, but he's like, nah, I'm not interested. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
MC Chris, so many levels above chap hop.
Yeah,
very
chap
much
hop
so.
is something. People know enough about me in my audience, the community, that they know that I'm artsy.
Yes.
And so they don't send me nerdcore things. But because I had a menswear blog for a long time, there was a period of my life where people were constantly sending me chap hop videos because they were like,
Lord.
you
because they
like
have vests
tweed
on and such?
Yeah. And I don't think you could find a thing. I mean, first of all, as one of the members, as John Flansburgh of They Might Be Giants once said at a dinner party that my co-host John Hodgman was at, good luck to all bands. So let me just say first, good luck to all bands. However, you could not find something less to my taste than chap hop. I would significantly rather listen to like musique concrète that is just recordings of machines breaking.
Sounds good to me.
I would
watch
too.
One of those videos of, I remember one of them is called Mr. B, the Gentleman Rhymer.
Oh, I am familiar with the works of Mr. B.
So am I.
I think my aunt used to call me that when I was a kid.
A gentleman rhymer?
A gentleman rhymer, yeah. So for my real Def Jam Vendetta, I would fragment us out into subgenres. So we'd have like a trap crew. We'd have a grime crew.
Like a drill crew. I like this.
Yeah, and just a few representative artists from each, and we can get multicultural with it in terms of, because like a lot of these are very cross-national now. So that's what I would do, and it makes it a little like King of Fighters or something like that, and each crew has like a storyline, but then you can mix and match them. So I guess it would be a tag fighter. You'd be able to tag between 3.
It's very Marvel took on Souls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's something I really liked in the recent Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake where they got everyone who was still around from the original cast of Tony Hawk Pro Skater and scanned them in as they look now. So they were just like, you were seeing Tony Hawk and his friends skate at like in their late 40s.
Yeah.
I would like to do that with everyone you could get from Def Jam Vendetta.
And that was kind of my thinking would
Snoop
be
will
that
do it. He'll do anything.
Yeah,
it would be more of less of a fighting game, more of like an art market simulator where you buy and sell Basquiat's.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what would be fun to me though? So many like Too Short and a lot of others talk about like Real Roxanne and whoever talk about they like hit it big before they hit it big by selling tapes out of the back of their car. That would be the like Yakuza mini game, business management mini game is selling tapes or CDs out of the trunk of your car. You can upgrade your car to look fancier, so people are think that you're not a scrub and stuff.
Just posts in the subreddit that say, "How do I meet E40's uncle?"
Yeah, drive over to Vallejo.
I'd like to circle back to something you mentioned a little earlier about being in the artsy, not nerdy section of the just like general online populace. As a video game podcast, we've discussed roughly 1,000 times the question of if you can count video games as art. I think we've mostly decided no.
I thought we decided yes. No.
I was going to say that's
Franken
not
always
true.
said yes, obviously. So I don't know where you're getting that from.
Oh, I don't listen. I just ask questions and then
Okay.
think about comic books. No, what I'd like to know is what video games are artsy?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I think that like the is it art question is obviously an old one, but to me, it's a very conspicuously yes. But the semiotics of games are very different from the semiotics of other artworks. Like the fact that the game is created so much more for the experience of the consumer and the agency of the consumer than most other forms of art, right? Like the balance of signifier signified is really different in a game which is designed to be first and foremost an experience for the player wherein the player has huge amounts of agency relative to like a novel where there's certainly agency for the reader and there's certainly the text doesn't end with the author, but the line between the author and the consumer or the auteur and the viewer or whatever is in a really different place in a novel than it is.
Yeah, in a novel,
game.
it's in your mind, the agency, and in a video game, the agency is within boundaries at your fingertips, and you're doing it. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, to me, like the artsiest games that I've played are ones that are designed to create an experience that I couldn't have through any other medium. And it's often like an experience of play. So, I mean, I'm probably my favorite video game in the subcategory, not just a simulation of having your own baseball team, is probably Katamari Damacy.
Oh, yeah.
And
unimpeachable.
Like, there is a wonderful game experience in there. There is the wonderful feeling. It feels really good to play. But I think that one of the things that is most distinctive about it is that it is an exercise of imagination that you couldn't access by like looking at a picture, you know what I mean? Or reading a narrative book about it. It's almost, I mean, look, is there a narrative in Katamari Damacy? Yes.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Does it have those great weird translations?
Your dad wants you to roll things up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like mostly it's game structured, which is, you try and do more and more to get more and more points, roughly. But that experience is one you couldn't feel in any other way. And there's fine art that also shoots for that kind of thing, but it's something that is best expressed, I think, through games and is definitely capital A art.
I would say, like, we're talking about artsy. A lot of the games that I would consider artsy are ones that remove a lot of player agency and try to present you with a concept and like push you through a certain kind of experience. You will feel this way, or you will encounter this concept. You will think about this structural thing. And so like a lot of walking sims do that.
Right.
And
I just played Humaniki for the first time last week, and it wasn't fun, but it did create a unique mood, I would say.
Yeah, adventure games, etc. Weirdly, I think that the games that have the most player agency, but also the most like didactic, here's how you will feel, are horror games, which is kind of weird. But like that's like dread, trepidation, fear. These are things that we can create while giving you as much agency as you want, because you have to go into that scary room. In a movie, you know, we're forced in there. We have to go in there, or not, or we never see what's behind the door or whatever. But in video games, there's like a scary, spooky sound, and it's dark in there, and you have to decide to go in there. Is that artsy? I'm not sure, but it's there's a flavor of something in there that is quite interesting, because I feel like it bridges the spot between agency and, you know, presenting the player with something to experience that the author wants them to experience.
Yeah, I think the second person narrative element of games is a unique strength of games that could only be approached by, you know, certain it's I don't think approached by any other narrative art form. The extent to which you identify with the protagonist of a game is pretty much unique to video games. And I think the closest in fine art that it could be would be like a site-specific or experiential work of some kind, like
installations and such.
Yeah, but that is, you know, on the one hand, it can be more visceral because it's your whole actual body and so on and so forth. But like generally speaking, it's so much more limited because of the unlimited nature of you know, the ones and zeros, and almost unlimited nature of the ones and zeros inside a video game. You know, like you can play a video game in the second person for 60 or 100 hours easy, in a way that you wouldn't, you know, going through the tactile dome at the Exploratorium in San Francisco or something.
Oh man, I haven't been there forever.
Yeah,
I have been there exactly once. My dad's ex-wife used to work there, and she brought me there when I was a young girl, and they had like a thing you had to go through that was completely dark, and I wanted to go through it, and I went into it, and it was so dark that I noped out immediately. They had to open the door and pull me out because I was so scared.
Get the jaws of life.
That's the tactile dome. You nailed it. That's exactly where you were.
Oh, okay. I haven't thought about that in years.
They have the door because it happens to a lot of people. It wasn't just you.
Yeah, that was
reason they
a
have the door.
particular shameful moment of my life. But a lot of what we're talking about is like narrative aspects of games, but another like maybe under-discussed aspect of artsy games are also things that you can like intuit what the developer is. You can read their minds. And I think a lot about that when it comes to like puzzle games. So I'm thinking like Viewfinder, games that like mess with your perspective and things like that. Really clever puzzle games also have an aspect of artsiness to it, because it's kind of hard to explain. Like you can see into someone else's mind. They give you this thing there, and you are able to, without directly communicating with each other, like recreate what it is, what they want you to create, or come to the answer from a completely different, like emergent kind of like gameplay stuff, which is also really fun and really creative.
Yeah, in a way, it makes me wonder, our toolboxes, they're vehicles for the creation of art. Is that artsy? I don't know. But like, I wouldn't be like Roblox is artsy.
No, I wouldn't either.
Or Minecraft is artsy. However, people make art with it.
Art can be exploitative, so something to think about. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. School de la!
Ash, are you from the Bay Area? Is that where you were at the Exploratorium?
No.
Just your dad's ex-wife was?
No, my dad just used to live in California. I'm from the Midwest. I'm in Ohio right now.
Well, I live in East Oakland.
Now, my understanding is that in Eastside O, they'll straight up take your hoe. Is that correct?
That is, we've been trying to stop that from happening. We've been successful so far.
So it's a real systemic problem.
She's still just over there, so it's fine.
Welcome back to Insert Credit. It's time to go to the question hole. This is the part of every episode where I take a question submitted to us at patreon.com/insertcredit, where for mere dollars a month, you can get access to the form that lets you submit questions. You get monthly bonus episodes made out of the hot dog ends of what we say when we're not recording, and other fun and interesting and delightful surprises. This week's question comes from LeFish, who asks a classic would you rather question. Jesse, I believe you were the first person to ask a would you rather question on a podcast, so I'm sure you know the rules. LeFish asks, would you rather live 1 year of your life with big head mode, loudly speak like a Mario, or only be able to walk as if tank controlled?
What does tank control mean? That means is that where you have treads?
It's similar. You can move. Up moves forward and left and right turn your body completely. So basically, you'd be walking more like RoboCop, basically. So
got it.
You'd walk and then you'd have to turn and then you'd have to walk. Or you can arc and angle yourself, sort of like driving a Buick.
Got it.
You're more aiming yourself than you are moving through space. And I suspect that is what I would prefer, because I think the whole it's-a-meification of my voice would be troublesome in business relations and things like that.
Yeah.
And big head mode, my spine isn't doing that great as it is. You increase my head size. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Alex, I need to ask another point of clarification here.
Please.
If I chose the Mario voice,
That's so nice.
Would others presume that I was doing?
I think you have to move to New York.
Would it read to others as though I was speaking in my normal voice and I just had a funny accent? Or would it read to others as though I was doing a mean bit about how Italians talk?
I think you would be it would sound as if you were doing an impression of Charles Martinet from the 3D Super Mario Brothers games.
I personally think it would sound like you were making fun of Italian Americans. And
the question does not say Italian voice; it says a Mario voice.
But Mario is like a fake Italian voice. Let's not pretend that it isn't. I think people would think it was funny at first, and then very disturbing as they realize that you weren't stopping.
Yeah,
I think that's the kind of situation you would be in.
There's a part of me that wants to choose that. But I really would only choose it if the people around me experienced that as my actual voice, that I wasn't doing a mean bit. Like if the premise was that me talking in that voice was just how I talked and everyone were just like, that's how the guy talks, I guess he's Italian or something. Then to me, that would make people like me more and think I seemed fun. But if people around me heard me doing that and said, what is he doing, a freaking Super Mario voice? Then if that was the case,
we got Mario over here.
Then people would punch me and I would deserve to be punched.
I think you can only decide this for yourself. Like as it is a thought experiment, what do you think would happen? Because if you were just
I'm
doing
45 years old and I'm a professional podcaster, Brandon. So people kind of know how I talk.
Right.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, Jesse, cut it out. This is horrible. So I can't choose that.
Yeah.
And giant head seems like, I get chronic migraine headaches, and that seems like trouble 6 different ways.
Oh,
you know
but
what I mean?
what if your brain didn't increase in size and there's a lot more room for it to slosh around in there?
Oh.
So you're saying that the problem with my migraines is
your brain's too
big. Your head is too
like
small.
Swelling.
Yeah.
There's too much room being taken up by
too
demons.
much skull,
and
not enough.
Yeah.
I should give myself a trepanation and cut a hole in the skull and let the demons out, and then I wouldn't have migraines
impure
anymore.
Thoughts, etc. Yeah, I think that's.
Well, God knows I have impure thoughts.
I wouldn't know.
And then tank mode. Was there a 4th choice or just tank mode?
Just 3 choices. Classic 3.
Yeah, then it's got to be tank mode. It's got to be tank mode. Plus, if I go into tank mode, maybe I'll get the first pick in the draft.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Ash?
I walk like tank mode as like not my normal mode of ambulation, but I do that anyway. So I guess I would pick big head mode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could have 2 of them.
Do something different. Or So this is the meme answer for my husband who is listening. I would talk like Mario, so me and my husband can talk in Italian at each other because he's very fond of doing really dumb bits and then like this with the hand, and that's like what he calls speaking Italian. It's very bad
Because he's Greek.
Yes,
Right.
because he's Greek and has famously no love for Italians. So he likes to do this a lot, and I guess that's his way of cultural pride.
Is that why we had to shut down the podcast every time Frank mentioned the video game metaphor Refantasio?
No, that was just funny. I couldn't stand the way that he said it. It was just funny.
Me personally, I'm thinking about the book deal after the year. Because remember, the stipulation is that this is for 1 year.
Mhm.
And I think of these scenarios, the book that people are going to buy is not going to be my big head year. They're not going to buy my tank control year. They're going to buy in the style of like a Yes Man or an Eat, Pray, Love, my Mario voice year. People want to know what it would be like if you experienced a year of being Mario's voice.
First of all, the tank mode book is not called My Tank Mode Year. It's called Tanks for the Memories, a year without turning my head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's right.
The Batman
That's
story.
all I got. Wasn't even really worth saying out loud.
The Mario book would be called It Was a Me, because it's a retrospective on the year that you were Mario.
Right. Yeah.
And what's the Big Head book?
Swollen.
I like it.
Swollen, comma, my big head mode or something like, or my big head year or something like that.
No, I like my big head mode.
Or me and my big head.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We have solved that. I think the majority consensus is tank controls. So that's what we're going to have to do for the next year. I will check.
You guys have a favorite tank video game?
Possibly Granada
Mm-hmm.
on the Sega Genesis. I think that might be my favorite. I also like, God, what's that called? There's a PC Engine one that I like that I'm blanking on. It might be Override. No, that's a different one. There's a game called that I love looking at that I forget the name of. You're a bunch of tiny little chibi pastel colored tanks. It's on the PS1, and I cannot. I think it's called Poppin' Tanks.
The first networked video game that I ever played, and I'm pretty close to the last because I'm just worried that if I put on one of those headsets, everybody's just going to start calling me slurs.
That's what happens.
But the first networked video game that I ever played was in my middle school. We had Macintosh computers, and there was a LAN game called Bolo that was like a tank game where you went around and you laid mines and you had to defend bases and gather stuff. And it was really, really fun in my memory.
I don't know that one.
I'm going to follow the rules and I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to follow the rules and just say Girls in Panzer game. And then I'm going to break the rules and say Armored Core.
I would count Armored Core.
I guess a mech is kind of a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just dropped Poppin' Tanks into the chat here. It's cute. It's cute. I like how it looks. Little chubbly bubbly little tankos.
My favorite tank game is Cowboy Bebop for the PlayStation 2. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yay! That one. No booze for you. Not that time.
Yay!
Is that because of the song?
Yeah, it's because of the song.
Yes, that's
okay.
The song.
Okay.
Dude, I was very sad to learn. I don't know how this passed me by for the last 20-something years, but I guess Kanayoko, composer of Cowboy Bebop and a whole bunch of other stuff that I like.
Oh, we're not hearing this. We're moving on.
Straight up stealing music.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you either, bro.
The recording's cutting out right now. We have to move on to the next question. That's the buzzer, I believe.
Hold on. I just Googled Bolo and I found out that it was re-released in the Steam store for modern Macintoshes and in the App Store for iPhone 2 weeks ago.
Whoa! You can check that game out right now.
Everybody go play Bolo. Who wants to play Bolo with me, everybody?
Let's play Bolo. Maybe in a little bit after this. I know that, Jesse, you happen to be kind of a Skyrim guy, kind of a Starfield guy, kind of a walk around and gather lavender guy. So I want to ask you all collectively about a particular area of games we don't talk about that often. What's the best of Bethesda?
The best of Bethesda?
What's the best of Bethesda?
You got the Mario disease.
What's the best of Bethesda?
What are the choices? The choices are Skyrim and Friends, the world of whatever the Skyrim series games are called.
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls,
right.
thank you. A Book of Baratheon or whatever.
Yeah.
That one, and then the Fallout games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then Skyrim. Wait, no, what's the space one that I played?
Starfield.
I played for Starfield. This is basically the same name.
Starfield and Friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically the same game. And is there any other ones? I mean, there's a few other Book of Bethesda ones, but
yes, they did make IHRA Professional Drag Racing 2005. That's also in the mix here.
yes, I mean, it's obviously the drag racing one. To me, the answer is very, very comfortably Skyrim. I've only played of the games in that series, I've only played Skyrim and the one that was more recently reissued that's from 17 years ago or whatever that they buffed up.
Oblivion, yes.
Oblivion, and I've played a few of the Fallout games, and I have played Starfield. Starfield is a great idea, moderately poorly executed. I would love, if you told me there's a spaceship version of Skyrim, I would be like, stop. In fact, what I did say was, take my $70. Gave him $70 right then and there, and played that game.
Then you were just wandering around in a kind of an empty zone for a while.
Gathering space lavender.
Weirdly, they used computer brains to artificially generate infinite planets.
Yeah.
But then also, there's only 12 bases for you to kill all the guys in.
Yeah.
The bases are all the same. They made a lot of weird choices. And I'm not as contemptuous of it as the people who are really, really contemptuous of it, because I probably did play it for 40 hours or something.
Ash, I remember having that same problem when I played the Mass Effect games, that anytime you went to a planet, the bases all had the exact same layout and you were all fighting the exact same guys on 40 identical planets.
Yeah, that happens. It's just all the other stuff makes it really good, so you ignore that part, honestly. That's just a means to an end to get all to the fancy cutscenes with your best friends.
I think the Elder Scrolls is definitely the funniest, has the funniest bugs in it. So I'm in favor of that answer. But it's not the answer that anyone would want. But Bethesda published other stuff too. So I liked Ghostwire Tokyo a lot. But my real choice for a game they published would be that trilogy of Wolfensteins, the new Wolfensteins.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm going to cut out all the things that Microsoft and whatever. It's the Wolfenstein games, specifically Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. I think is my favorite, and you should know why.
I played a lot of Wolfenstein 3D on my home computer at one point.
Yeah.
This point was roughly 1993. I don't know.
You should try the new Wolfensteins if you're at all interested, because it's some real good Nazi killing first of all.
I think it would stress me out. I'm going to be honest with you. Where those kind of shooter games went to immediately after that is so stressful to me because I'm so bad at aiming. Well,
there's an easy mode though.
What I love about the more role playing games like your Starfields is the fights are important, but you don't have to memorize any special sets of keys that you have to press in a particular order or cadence. And you can always turn on an auto targeting mode where basically all you have to do is kind of press the fire button. I played Skyrim. I mean, I put probably hundreds of hours into Skyrim. I mean, I know I'm on a gaming podcast, and probably a lot of super gamers are listening who put hundreds of hours into lots of games. But bear in mind, I have 17 jobs and 3 children.
Right.
And my children would be like, "Are you just going around gathering lavender again?" But to me, the ultimate gaming experience is one where I can have plenty of fights, but the fights don't stress me out because I have to do to press block too many times. Time blocks or memorize combos, because I am not going to memorize combos. Realistically, it's just not going to happen. I've been playing this game called Ghost of Yotei lately. It's a really cool game. It has some of the best narrative elements of a video game I've played in terms of it being just a bad movie, not one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Right.
And it's really cool to look at, and you can go around and do cool stuff, get little outfits, a lot of different kind of missions you can go on. I love a mission, but yeah, it gets to a certain point and you're like, Jesus Christ. So I didn't press the block button at the exact same 1/100th of a second, the exact correct moment. Now, I mean, Ash, you're telling me about watching speedrun tournaments and possibly participating in them. So I'm guessing that you feel otherwise about pressing a button at exactly the right moment. But
I love a good
that's
parry.
not part of my experience that I enjoy.
Well, I'm still going to recommend those new Wolfensteins because, first of all, there's easy modes, not a lot of buttons to hit. You can just be holding the fire button a lot of the time, and very cathartic in terms of defeating Nazis in the modern era, even. And you know they're well evil.
Yeah.
And you blow them
No
all
nuance.
up. So
I'll say this: those Fallout games, I played 2 or 3 of them and beat them simply because they were the exact same game as Skyrim. But the only difference between those games and Skyrim is one of the things that I like least in video games, which is just absolute C- satire. Just
Sure.
a person thinking they're real freaking cute and making a half joke that's actually them just being kind of a jerk, and then being like, that's what I call satire.
That
You know
is
what I mean?
what I kind of one of the things I had in mind when I was asking about how new bad games are different from old bad games. I think the urge to be funny is a plague upon a lot of modern titles that just wasn't there
yeah, you should just do it naturally.
30 years ago. Yeah.
The only
That's the
time I
easiest
ever
way.
impressed my children with a celebrity that I know, and like, I don't know any movie stars, okay? I want to be clear. Like, unless you count Kumail Nanjiani, I don't know any movie stars.
That counts.
But does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I know one movie star. He's not starring in movies right now. He's just being he's on a Fallout, the TV show, isn't he?
He
Yes.
retains his status from
He does.
from before.
Well, he's a wonderful
Yeah.
guy and a nice
Just a
pal.
taskmaster.
But like, you know, all of the celebrities that I know that I get excited to see in things is it'll be like I'll be watching Peacemaker with my youngest kid who likes very violent television shows, and I'll be like, oh, hey, see that the like nerd guy? That's my friend Steve, you know? And my kids, and to me, that's really exciting that I know like my comedy friends, when they're in something that I am watching, I get so excited. Like I'm like, I know that guy and I like him, you know, like, oh, there's, you know, Paul Shearer or whatever. I get so pumped. My kids hate it and they're embarrassed by it.
I have to be a comic book person for a second, because this is my first time getting to talk to someone who knows Steve Agee. When you go back and read the 1987 Suicide Squad comics by John Ostrander, and you just like open that up and you see the character of John Economos in there, he literally does look exactly like Steve Agee. Like you read that comic and it is no other person it could possibly be. It's like the Overlook Hotel photo.
Agee is just like buddies with the guy that makes all the DC things now.
Yeah.
Who like they're just old friends. So he just like puts Agee in things. Agee's in Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff.
This wasn't even like a force though. Like you read that comic, it's gotta be that guy.
The point of this anecdote is this. We could be watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
And I could be like, kids, your father made an hour-long radio special with Pee-wee Herman, Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
We had dinner at the Cafe 101. To me, this is the greatest professional credit that I could ever have achieved in my entire life.
Makes
and
sense.
my kids will just roll their eyes at me. However, I once told my daughter Grace that I knew Dana Gould, the voice of Gex the Lizard.
Oh, Gex Ive, rise up!
And she lost her mind.
Gex Ive!
Gex
She's
is
like,
a
you
famous,
know Gex!
famous insert credit.
It's
We
very
love
interesting
Gex over here.
what kids will get excited about.
One of the many things I love about Dana Gould is that he created this entire persona he does now of pretending to be Dr. Zaius on stage, where the whole thing is just doing the Gex shit, but instead he's a big monkey instead of a lizard. And you know what? I love that about it. I love that he constructed that world around it.
Dana is a wonderful, brilliant stand-up comedian, one of the funniest people in the world. And at some point, 25 years ago, he wrote on The Simpsons for 5 or 7 years and thus was set for life financially. And so he's still, I know, why didn't we think of that?
Thought of that.
But he does lots of things professionally. He had a great show on IFC there for a while, but mostly what he dedicates his energy to is a talk show that he hosts while dressed as Dr. Zaius from Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
And first of all, I want to emphasize, when I say talk show, I'm talking about a fully produced talk show. There's an announcer, there's celebrity guests, there's a monologue that he writes as if he were Dr. Zaius from Planet of the Apes. And when I say that he's dressed as Dr. Zaius, it is like this might be a real Dr. Zaius costume. Knowing Dana Gould's level of passion about Planet of the Apes and knowing his level of, let's say, financial independence from having been a writer-producer on The Simpsons, I went to his house one time and there was a totem pole from one of the Planet of the Apes movies. And I'm like, Dana, is that from one of the Planet of the Apes movies? And he's like, yes, it's from Planet of the Apes, blah, blah, blah. And Escape from the Planet of the Apes or whatever. It was an actual totem pole that was actually in one of the Planet of the Apes movies.
Who else in the world would own that except him? It would be upsetting if someone else did.
What's most amazing about it is he and another brilliant, very geeky comedian named Blaine Capatch, another one of the people with the most funniness is inside their brain of anyone on earth. Blaine dresses up as like a sort of louche 70s game show host with like a turtleneck and a giant lapels and one of those long skinny microphones and stuff. And he's like the announcer of the show. And the two of them do this show where Dana is Dr. Zaius. It's called Hangin' with Dr. Z. And they're so brilliant and funny that it's somehow good, not bad.
It's a fully produced version of that one Seinfeld episode where Kramer digs the Merv Griffin set out of the garbage. It's really good. With that, we are well over time. I think it's time for us to go on to our lightning round. This game that I have invented for this episode is a game I am calling Equip This On. Jesse, you've been an online menswear guy for what I believe is most of the lifespan of the internet. So I have prepared a gallery of male video game characters with outfits for us to rate and critique. Let's get a read on each of them out of 10 and maybe suggest what, if anything, they could be doing better.
Have you guys ever spent money on video game characters' clothes that aren't useful in the game?
All the time. Glamour is the end game. I play Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, that's the thing.
I have, but I would say mostly when it's like I bought the gold pack and it came with everything.
With the
but I did
bonus.
then switch the clothes to something stupid.
Yeah.
Because I had purchased them. So yes. Have you, Jesse?
I haven't. In fact, I even forget that my characters are wearing clothes. As a guy who spends most of my disposable income on clothes, I regularly, like even in a game like Ghost of Yote that has beautiful costume designs, like she wears these samurai uniforms, armors that are incredibly beautiful. And you like earn them. But anytime I win one or like, win a level and get one, I'm always just like, oh, so it's just like an outfit I wear? I thought I was going to get a magic sword.
Well, we're looking at default costumes for a bunch of characters here. This first one is Iori Yagami from the King of Fighters fighting game series.
Iori Yagami. I mean, I have no notes. He's got the belt between his legs, so he can't walk well. I'm always a fan of that.
But the pants are like a relaxed fit. He's got like the rule of thirds going on. He has like visual interest in the middle. Like I love everything about it. Yeah,
he's got a bondage strap between his knees.
Yeah. No,
this is probably tame compared to what else we will see.
I literally had these pants, but black. People knew me for wearing these pants in the early 2000s. So I can't can't fault him for it. Also, he's got a choker on because,
His hair color matches his pants. Like 10 out of 10, no notes. I love
10
it.
out of 10
This
ERA.
is the most bondage gear I've ever seen on the least bondage outfit of person.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, strap in.
Buckle up.
Literally.
Our next character is the Pokemon trainer from the first Pokemon game, Red.
I mean, it's a child. Am I supposed to critique this child?
Yeah, of course.
Otherwise, he'll never get better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
He's
the
out
hat
here
is too
fighting
big.
adults.
You want to make sure he grows up to have sick fits, don't you?
Right.
I guess I do.
Roast this fictional child.
I think it's disproportionate.
Yeah.
I don't like the look of the Pokemon hat. There, I said it.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
it's not
hot.
good. It's
The
too
Poke-
big. That jacket is like disproportionate. Like those sleeves should be longer for like the bagginess of
It's
the
boxy.
jacket.
Is it a vest
I think it's a
Is it a
vest. I'm
or
not
a short sleeve jacket?
It could
and
be a
he's wearing a
short-sleeve
green
jacket.
tank top underneath.
It's hard. It's hard to tell, but everything is a bit oversized. You can see that the cuffs of his jeans have been like pooched in. This is like his mom bought him all this stuff with the intention of him growing into it in a couple years.
The
Mm.
cuffs of his jeans have what look like Velcro straps. Like, these might be Gerbots. If these are Gerbots, he's the coolest kid in my middle school.
Now, is that on the jeans or is it on the shoe?
I think it's
that's
on
a
the
good
shoe.
question. Maybe he's got his jeans tucked into his
Might
high
have his
tops,
jeans
and that
tucked into his
strap is
high
part of the sneaker.
That's what I'm thinking.
Sort of thing
I
like
don't know. I'm
6,
kind of into that look too.
7 then?
I'm
Yeah,
giving
that's
I'm
him
giving
a,
him a
that's a
7.
five.
The only thing I don't like is
It's
this
5
ugly
for me.
hat.
I'm giving
Yeah.
him a 5 too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to him. I don't like that belt either.
Next is a man I love, Soma Cruz from Castlevania Aria of Sorrow.
I mean, I love the
Of all
jacket.
the Castlevania characters to pick,
I love this guy.
Oh, he's
I
one of
don't
my favorites.
hate the jacket. There's a little bit too
Motherfuckers.
matchy going on. We need some patterns in here to break this up a bit. Like,
Somebody take away this man's bedazzler.
But he starts out in the snow, so he's got to be blue and white.
This dude stole Dolly Parton's blue jeans.
That's true. That's true. No, she gifted them to him.
Do all video game characters wear bootcut pants and I've never noticed?
This is a
All the
certain
men.
era. We're getting several from a certain era here. So I think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But
This isn't just a fetish that Jaffe has.
it
No.
might be. I might be discovering a thing about
not,
myself here.
Not just.
Not only.
not
just.
just.
Honestly, his like flowing Evil Knievel jacket, his like Elvis in Las Vegas jacket is
Yeah.
not my favorite. I don't love the fur trim. If he were just wearing these bootcut jeans and a black turtleneck, I might be kind of into it. But again, the bedazzling on the jeans is too much for me. But if you just told me this guy's wearing black cowboy boots, a black turtleneck, and these flares, I might be on board for that.
With this jacket, he's really thinking about his running animation here and
Yeah.
how impressive it'll look flapping behind him.
I
So-
think the fur collar with like the outsized lapels is a little bit hat on a hat, but
It is a hat on the hat.
I don't hate it. I don't
Yeah.
hate
I
it.
want to note, first of all, it's lapel. It's fur on a collar, but
Yeah.
he's wearing this coat with only one arm through the arm. So he's wearing it as what they call a half cape,
Yeah.
a demi cape.
He's he's a busy guy. He can't be putting his clothes all the way on.
Yeah. He's fighting a lot of Frankensteins, a lot of Draculas.
What's everybody's
Yeah,
rating?
what's the rating?
I give him an 8. I like it.
Me
Ooh.
too. I like it too. I'm giving him 8, even though I agree with everything you said, Jesse.
I'm giving him a 4. I think he needs to give that
Blasted.
jacket back to Ravishing Rick Rude and the pants back to Dolly.
All right.
Good old
He's an
South
American
America.
treasure.
Our next character is Kazuma Kiryu, specifically from Yakuza 0.
I really think it's if it weren't on Kiryu, this would just be like a used car salesman
Yeah.
to me. It's not a good suit.
Yeah,
I think
this
the
is
shoes are wrong. I think the suit is wrong for that shirt. He's got to pick one or the other, not both together. But I do like the cut of the suit.
He's wearing white monk strap shoes. He's got it's a very light gray suit with a white pinstripe on it, double breasted with a real low buttoning point. I call that 6x2, so 6 buttons, only 2 of which are designed to button. he's got on a sort of heavily patterned red shirt that I presume he got from Dan Flash's.
It's a Hawaiian floral.
Yeah, spent a lot of money on that one.
I'm going to say this dude fully looks like he went to the 2 suits, 2 shirts, 2 shoes, $199 store downtown.
Not inaccurate.
And got himself a prom suit.
Mm-hmm.
And he and all his buddies who either don't have dates or have dates who are going to be mad because the buddies are all about broing out instead of paying attention to their girlfriends. And taking pictures of themselves, pretending to smoke cigars or whatever. This has a real like junior prom vibe to me. I'm giving this a 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.
I was gonna say 3 too.
I'm gonna throw something out here, just to throw this into the mix. In the early 2000s, there was a very unfortunate trend in Japan where they would sew part of a shirt into a blazer. I guess it was designed to like cool you down so you weren't wearing as much clothing. But it is the era is a little wrong, but this sort of looks to me like that kind of shirt where all that like orange Hawaiian shirt stuff, both at the cuffs and the neckline, could just be a very small piece of fabric sewed into that blazer.
Oh no!
I hope it's not, but it could.
But now I can't see it any other way. Yeah, all right, that's a 2. That's a 2 for me too. Our next character is the Bouncer from The Bouncer.
Oh,
specifically Scion Barzad.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of luck going on here.
He's got his
guys.
Dog Street shirt on, so that's good.
Tetsuya, oh man, I love this.
He's got his phone bangle that has been upsized 1,000 times to become a weird necklace thing.
I just love that you can see the Kingdom Hearts in this. Like, you can see it.
Yeah, he's got
like
those big
Sora's
shoes.
outfit is right there with the primary colors and everything.
He would fall over those feet.
There's some big kind of like halfway between rave boots and Riot Girl boots.
Yeah.
There's bicycle shorts underneath some balloony regular shorts.
Yes,
there's
double shorts. It's got the compression stuff on the forearm for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
There's work gloves that happen to be black with red, blue, and yellow accents, like the kind of gloves that you would put on to like stack cords of firewood.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gigantic neck pendant hanging from a bondage strap around the neck. Mm-hmm. There's no shirt. There's what appears to be a combination like cotton jersey and body leather sleeve zip up hoodie.
Now let me tell you, that's real. That's real. I've seen that at a Zen Mall in Shibuya in 2003. Like that kind of thing did exist, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is a brutal look. If it didn't have the profoundly distasteful accessories and was just the distasteful sort of like goofy rave stuff from 1996, I actually could almost get behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But those big hunks of metal hanging off of him are really take away from the rest of it as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to give this a 3.
Bonking against your chest.
That's the only thing that honestly stands out to me as like heinous, because, you know, playing Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, like this is tame by that standard, except for the huge necklace.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I'm going to give it a 4 because someone's trying something, and I always want to encourage that when someone's giving it a shot, giving it a go.
He's a 6. I'm sorry. He's a 6 for me.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Proto Sora, because our next outfit here is, of course, the Disney boy himself.
Yay!
Sora from the famous Disney Square Enix collaboration Kingdom Hearts.
This is truly, the other one has to have been an homage to this, right?
This one was
the
a
other
couple
one came
years after.
before this, yeah.
Wow. This guy looks like if one of the kids from the Burger King Kids Club was had an anime haircut and was into bondage. All of these are bondage themed. Is that your thing, Jaffe?
No, this
is a Japan thing.
This is just Nomura. He likes to design things like this. Like, it's got the same chain, basically.
It is the same chain.
Same wallet chain down there. The big feet. Big feet, big hands also was just a big thing at a certain point. Not just big head mode. We moved on to other body parts.
You know what they say about guys with big feet, right?
Yeah, they got big hands.
Like,
And
I've
big
played Kingdom
keys.
Hearts for so long. I have just now noticed that Sora is wearing a onesie.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
You just zip it all the way down to the crotch.
I figure that zipper that we're seeing as just going from his neck down to his crotch. I think it keeps going and goes
All
around
the way back around,
to his
yeah.
mid back
I buy it.
Yeah.
for easy access.
What are we giving Sora?
I'm giving this one a 5. I like this one better than the last one.
Yeah, me too.
It's more cohesive, but I like it less. But I'm still giving it a 4. I'm
I
sticking
give it
with
a
4.
10.
Aw.
Oh,
It's too
nice.
classic. It's too classic.
Sometimes I go to the Kinokuniya, the Japanese bookstore here in Los Angeles. There are also some in other places in the United States. And my favorite Japanese menswear magazine to buy is called Second. And I was like, why do I like Second so much better than, for example, Popeye or Hail Mary?
Mhm.
These are other Japanese. Men's X. I think it's because in Second, the models look like they're happy to be wearing the clothes. And that's what I like about this guy. He seems cheerful.
The next is maybe the outfit that I would be most likely to wear. This is Kefka Palazzo from Final Fantasy
God.
VI.
This is like some Harlequin. Does he have heels on?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, those were heels, baby.
They're better. More like, so you can understand the sartorial things going on here. Hold on.
I mean, this is fashion, you know.
Yeah.
This is down the runway at Milan. I think it's Harlequin-esque, but it's also got elements of a salsa dress. It's got, I don't know. It feels like it's referencing a lot of specific things with some intention.
He's wearing an Afghan to cover his butt.
Right? It's good. His right arm looks like a rubber chicken, which I admire.
I don't like circus folk.
Oh,
Sure.
well, there goes half our audience.
I'm not saying like it, I find it a little discomforting. In the way that some people are afraid of clowns, I feel that way about acrobat.
Mhm.
Sure.
However, this is by far the most coherent and compelling look that we've seen pictures of.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though I wouldn't trust this person to like babysit my children or
You
not
shouldn't.
pickpocket me while I'm in
Yeah.
line for cotton candy, I'm still going to give this an 8 because I like the color scheme, a lot of great color going on, a lot of pattern, a lot of flavor. And I do actually, I think the heels might be my favorite part.
Yeah.
It's very Mugler, like Thierry Mugler. Like, it's
Mm.
very that design.
I'm gonna give it a 7, only because not higher because I wouldn't wear it, but I like it. I think it's good.
This is from a circus where the tickets are very expensive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah,
also
Gotta
yeah.
know
kill you.
somebody.
Where the
But you can go there on a date and there's a sex part in the circus.
yeah they
Right.
have a themed a different theme every time, and it's one syllable,
Mhm.
whatever it's called.
Yeah, the only way you get in is if you're comped by someone who owns an oil rig. I have got 3 more here. This is the only character on this list who I did not know before asking the insert credit forums to send me some guys. This is Luso Clemens from Final Fantasy Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift.
Okay.
This is what this guy's deal is.
That's a
words.
real video game.
It's a real video game.
Oh, this is just granola Sora is what we're going with. here?
Yeah.
Crunchy Sora.
Yeah. This is granola. This is Sora from the wilds.
Yeah. Feral
This
Sora.
is the same guy as the last guy in Earth Tone. That's what we're discussing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might be,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the same guy as 2 guys ago in Earth Tones now. Yeah, I feel like this guy is not significantly enough differentiated from Sora
From
from
Sora?
Kingdom Hearts for me.
I'm looking
But
at him
less
now, and yeah, I
sauce.
guess so.
No, this one is way better. I like
It
this
is
one
better.
way better than the other one.
Yeah,
Is
I
this
like
a-
his
No
I like
respect.
his little satchel that can hold 2 pizzas.
Yeah. The pizza set. Yeah, this is a game where you deliver pizzas through
Pizza
a fantasy
satchel.
kingdom.
That's good.
Yeah.
And it's what you said it's called.
Final Fantasy Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift.
Yeah, it is ridiculous to have to say video game titles to people that don't think about video game titles all the time.
Yeah.
They should have called it Translucent Dildo Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say in his defense, Sora does appear in a video game called Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. So this isn't unique to this character.
I'm looking at this transparent dildo sword, and I am starting to see it as a transparent pizza cutter. So I think the pizza theme is coming together for me.
It's strong here.
We got some pizza tray arm guards.
Mm-hmm.
We got basil or possibly tomato leaf wrapped around the midsection. We got cheese and marinara colored overalls. And I think it's.
It looks like he has pizza sauce in little bottles on his little thing.
It does.
Like toward the back, yeah.
A lot of people might think that the translucent dildo sword is my favorite part of this whole thing.
Sure.
But the honest truth is, it's this special beret with a flesh-colored backwards-facing bill, and also is that called a tonsure? When an abbot or a monk carves a bald spot at the top, at the crown of their head?
It does look like he kind of has a tonsure,
It kind of does look like that. I don't think it is, but it does look like it.
This kid did not pick Mario voice or tank controls.
Oh, and plus, Luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
We got the 4-leaf clover there.
All right, what are we giving this guy? 10s across the board, right?
8.5 from me. I like this one.
Yeah.
I like 3.
I'm giving him a 6 because I don't believe he can make a good pizza.
Esper, make a note. I think the name of the episode should be Transparent Dildo Sword.
I'm going to veto that. I don't want to put dildo in a title name.
Why not?
But I will offer this to you as concession. You wanted another Castlevania guy, so I'm giving you another Castlevania guy. This one's a classic. This is Alucard from Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
There we go.
My boy.
There's the boy.
The goth of all goths.
But like with color, with a little gold. Perfect. 10 out of 10. No notes. It's classic. I'm sorry. With the little, I've just now noticed like the inside of his coat has that like.
It's got the lace filigree or whatever.
Lovely.
There was a girl at my high school that dressed like this, but it was all vinyl.
Ooh.
This could possibly be all vinyl too. Though Alucard does have money.
That's why you gotta go to arts high school so that there's hot babes wandering around in vinyl goth bondage garb.
That's good advice for anybody.
Yeah.
And also you learn about the power of the arts.
But that's secondary, obviously.
We need him now
With
more
hot
than ever.
babes and vinyl.
Co-primary.
Alucard's outfit is going to be very expensive. He's got that Nepo baby thing going because he's Dracula's son.
Mm-hmm.
I like the big cape stuff. I like that he looks like a fencer / maestro.
/ pirate.
/ pirate. I like the big F me boots, as they're called.
I like that he has both his arms in his coat.
He's got a jacket and a coat. I mean, sorry, a jacket and a cape.
And a waistcoat under the jacket as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's keeping warm. I mean, who knows how much blood he's actually got in his body, so he might need to.
That's true.
My kids used to want dinner that was like little piles of a variety of items so that they could decide what they wanted to eat and not eat. And when they weren't happy with it, they would turn it back and say, more sings.
That's Alucard.
I think whoever designed this turned in a draft and their editor was like, I like it, but more sings.
More sings.
And they just added 17 more things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not so many as Nomura would have added. The fellow who did the bouncer one and some of the other more
I believe it was Akak Lanash who said, when you see an outfit, put one thing on before you walk out the door.
I appreciate that joke, Jaffe. I got it. You're welcome.
All right. What are we giving this one?
10.
I think it's a little rococo. It's not to my taste. I wish it was a little cleaner and sharper and looked less like something you would buy at a Halloween superstore. So I'm going to give it a 6.
Ash, you said 10 out of 10.
I said 10 out of 10.
You know, I gotta stay true to the goth roots. I gotta also give it a 10 out of 10.
All right, you've been overruled, Jesse.
Can't not do it.
All right, this next one, I need you all to be nice because this is my best friend. This is, of course, Tingle from The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask.
Tingle.
Aw.
He's 35 years old. All he wants is to be a fairy, and he's really good at drawing maps.
It is very funny to like age past the age of people that are supposed to be old in certain pieces of media.
It is, right?
Like Homer or Tingle, and I'm looking at Tingle and I'm like, this guy's 35. He's older than me. To look at him, I don't know about no 35. I got 10 years on this guy.
Tingle looks like he maybe killed Flava Flav and stole his
I was looking at that too.
neck
Yeah, well,
clock.
at least he knows what time it is.
Yeah.
He probably killed him with this red spear that he's holding in his hand.
It's a paintbrush, of course.
Oh, I thought it was a bow. I don't know
Tingle.
why.
So Tingle's wearing his underwear on the outside.
Yeah, like a true
he's
hero.
He's wearing a bodycon suit. I feel like we need one illustrative Tingle for Jesse to get the real context here, because the rest of us know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I think we need one more here that
Let
is
me pull
not
that up for
him
you.
polygonal. Just to say.
Polygonal.
Oh, this guy's balling out. I Googled Zelda Tingle.
Yeah, he's great. I love this guy.
He loves life.
Yeah.
He's fun.
This is a man with a joy of lifelong learning.
His red nose is dramatically more upsetting in
Yes.
polygonal form. In the illustrative forms, where it just looks like he's got a red flush on his nose, it's freaking adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, straight up, I'm going to say for this dude, this is my first 10. I'm loving this guy.
Yay!
You know, Tingle's being his true self.
Yeah.
There's
I was gonna give it a 9. Like I love
there's-
Tingle. I can't be
There's
mad.
no denying it. Yeah, he's doing it. You like to see a person anybody walking down the street owning what they're wearing is good for them. I love it. So I'm gonna give it a 9 also.
That said, I probably shouldn't have Googled that name because I'm looking at a picture here of my man Tingle. And
Yeah.
I can only
Yeah.
describe what he's doing here as presenting.
Yeah, he
God.
gets into some complicated visual scenarios. Illustratively, I would say.
This is a man who has had some situations happen to him and he has made happen.
My man Tingle is ready to go.
Oh,
He looks like his
24
little
hours a day.
red,
Tingle
his
and ready
little
to
red
mingle.
underpants
yeah.
look shiny on his booty like he's one of those mandrels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love my man Tingle. All right. I think that is it. Totaling the scores. It looks like our winner this episode is Ash Parrish. Congratulations, Ash.
Yay.
All right. This is the part of the show where if you would like to recommend something for our many listeners to go and check out and run the numbers up on, or just something you'd like them all to do or see, whether you're involved or not, now is the time to do so.
I got a life improvement recommendation is just delete out of the park baseball off your computer because you use your computer to work. And you can't just sit there trading players and signing guys off the waiver wire and moving guys around in your minor league system all freaking day long. You're a 45-year-old man. Get your act together and respond to some of those emails, because just because you have ADHD does not mean that you have an excuse to not communicate effectively with your friends and colleagues.
Yeah.
So just delete out of the park baseball off your computer, because now is the time. Otherwise, you're just going to be doing this 6 hours a day, every dang day for the rest of your life until you've won. You already won the World Series a bunch of time, you know?
I will say that Out of the Park Baseball 27 is 40% off on Steam if you like to play it.
No.
when this goes on.
Jeez. Oh,
Jesse, did you
geez.
ever see any of those browser games that were going around on Blue Sky where you had to like draft your perfect like baseball or basketball team to see how many games you would win in a simulation? Did you ever see any of those?
I can't get involved. I seen them and I cannot get involved because
Yeah,
if I
no,
start
you're
playing,
right.
if I start playing Perfect Game or any of those like little quizzy whatever things, it will activate the part of my brain that is the reason I can't play like board games at a party, which is if I win, I feel bad because I've made other people feel bad, or because I shouldn't feel good because I should have won. And if I lose, then I feel bad because I should have won.
Mm-hmm.
My real recommendation, I'm not going to give a gaming recommendation because everybody out there has played 20 trillion times more games than me. But if you have the HBO Maximum streaming service, watch the Larry Sanders Show, because that's the greatest comedy television show ever made, with the only possible exception that I can think of would be The Simpsons. It is comfortably the most like insightful about human beings and moving true comedy show ever. It is brilliantly funny. It has Jeffrey Tambor and Rip Torn. I almost said Rip Taylor. Both, we'll throw in Rip Taylor. Why not? He'll throw some confetti in there. Rip Torn and Jeffrey Tambor are the best performances on a comedy television show. The best acting performances on a comedy television show, rivaled only by maybe, like Lucille Ball as Lucy. And it is as insightful about the process of making entertainment as anything has ever been. I mean, I'm including like whatever, A Midsummer Night's Dream or whatever. It is a true insight, not into the nuts and bolts of how television is made, but into the ways that the feelings of people who make entertainment are broken. And very famously, Gary Shandling was deeply passionate that every single line reflect a fundamental emotional truth about the character in that moment. And that they could never, ever sell out the truth of the characters for jokes. And it is, it's just absolutely as good a television show as has ever been made. And a lot of people haven't seen it.
Yeah, so, I will watch it. I didn't watch it at the time. I don't remember if I had whatever it was on at the time, but I remember thinking that it was a talk show.
Yeah.
So they literally shot. So the premise of the show is Gary Shandling is Larry Sanders. He had been in real life offered some late night TV talk shows because he was the regular fill-in host for Carson. And he didn't want to do a TV talk show. He wanted to do a scripted show. So he initially did a show called It's Gary Shandling Show for Showtime, which is a really hilarious show, sort of a meta sitcom. And then he decided instead of taking a job as a late night TV host that he would take a job writing a fictional television show set at a late night TV talk show. And they would shoot an actual talk show in order to use the actual talk show that they shot within the context of a show that is primarily takes place behind the scene. And so, when he walks through the curtain, the shot that's next where he's doing the monologue is shot in front of a real live studio audience on a real talk show set, and it's shot through like a talk show. When he's interviewing one of the guest stars on the show, they put on a talk show, filmed it for the audience, and the audience was sitting in talk show chairs watching a talk show. But the bulk of the program is the story of Larry, his senior producer, played by Rip Torn, and his sidekick, played by Jeffrey Tambor, as well as their colleagues in the office. And it is genuinely moving, in addition to being mostly very, very funny.
It's so weird that I haven't seen this because I've seen so much Alan Partridge stuff, which swirls in that same arena.
It's very much I've talked with Armando Iannucci, who is the great genius of comedy writing, who helped, who worked on The Day Today and helped create Alan Partridge and the radio show that preceded The Day Today, and Brass Eye, the show that came after Day Today, and also created The Thick of It, which is the closest you can get to Larry Sanders, I would say, and Veep, which is the closest you can get to The Thick of It. And Armando has been very clear with me, yes, they were just trying to make the Larry Sanders show. In different contexts, but their goal in life was what if we could make something as funny, but also as insightful about the human condition as the Larry Sanders Show.
Well, I'm going to watch it.
I've seen every episode of the Larry Sanders Show. I loved it. I would say it's in one of my top 3 adaptations of The Muppet Show.
I'm sure Paul Downs would say the same about Hacks if people are Hacks fans. Hacks is very much, in a lot of ways, an homage to Larry Sanders.
Ash, you got anything?
Yeah, I got a couple of recommendations. I was watching Games Done Quick. One of the runs was like a showcase of a rhythm game called Unbeatable. It's a really good game. You should play it. It's set in a world where it's like a rhythm action game where what if music was illegal? It's very fun. But the thing I'm going to recommend about that is because I haven't played that game. I listened to the soundtrack during this showcase and it was kind of funky. And, Steam, they do those things where you can buy the game or you can buy this soundtrack separately. I think you can also probably get the soundtrack on Bandcamp or something like that. So check out the Unbeatable soundtrack. Buy that. It's great. Also, My husband like follows a lot of like horror accounts on Blue Sky, and one of the things that one of the accounts does do this like movie like watch club, and one of the movies that they watched was Theater of Blood, which is on YouTube. It's free. It's Vincent Price having a Shakespearean crash out. It was so fun to watch. It was so campy, like so British 1970s, like with all the costuming and the acting and all that stuff. There's a bunch of like meth heads and they're drinking like purple liquid that looks like Fabuloso, and I want to try it so bad. It's such a fun movie. You will have a great time. It's free on YouTube. You can go watch it now.
In my household, we stand Vincent Price so hard. This is something that I missed completely as a young person, and my daughter got into. Vincent Price rules so much.
He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
There's one of those quote unquote Edgar Allan Poe movies that actually doesn't have anything to do with.
Yeah, it has the title and everything else changes.
Yeah, if you Google, it's from a movie called Tales of Terror. If you Google Vincent Price wine tasting contest, you will find the video of this scene from Tales of Terror where Vincent Price and Peter Lorre are having a wine tasting contest, and Vincent Price is like a fancy sommelier type dude, and Peter Lorre is just a drunk, and they have this wine drink off.
True to life,
where they're identifying, and it is one of the most spectacular movie scenes. No irony, no nothing. Just it is hilarious and amazing. And they're just two of the most charismatic people that ever lived. Can't recommend it enough. Google that. And if you're in LA, hit up the Vincent Price Art Museum, because Vincent Price willed almost all of his huge art collection to East LA College here. And it is a wonderful, really great museum, and it's free.
I've never seen that. I will go. I also haven't seen Tales of Terror somehow.
And it's great he did that, because if he didn't, it would all be in Dana Gould's house right now.
Yeah, exactly. We often joke in my house that I'm raising a tiny girl, Dana Gould, because all of her interests are Gen X nerd interests for some reason.
Dana Girl. There's your title.
We should be so lucky.
All right, my recommendations. I've been listening to Stella Chang's album from 1999. She's a Taiwanese Mando pop singer. If you have any love for that era of emotionally laden pop music from that region of the world, give it a listen. It'll bring you right back there. My partner often calls me out on music that I wouldn't like if it were in English. And I think this is right up there with that stuff, but I do like it.
I understand that.
So there's that one. And then I'm also going to recommend the films of Mark Price, a British filmmaker who I recently discovered because on a whim I bought the DVD for a movie called Dune Drifter. Since then, I've watched two of his other movies, Colin and Night Shooters. Colin I didn't much care for, though apparently Scorsese liked it. But check those out if you get the opportunity. It is an amazing exercise in hyper low budget filmmaking that really looks like it was shot more in the $2 to $3 million range. Dune Drifter was done for £100,000, but it's got like a space battle. They go onto an alien planet, aka Iceland, and it's got like good action. I was like, this is okay as I was watching it, and then I watched a little behind the scenes featurette and saw that they were filming the spaceship cockpits in a actual wooden constructed contraption that filled up the entirety of his living room, and he was filming it from like back up against the wall. At the start, there's a bunch of starships and things. I was like, the CG is okay, but then watching again the special feature stuff, I found that while some of them were CG, the majority of them were actually models, and they just like copied and pasted a bunch of times, which made it look a little CG-ish. Anyway, they really, really tried with these, and Night Shooters is it's about a film crew that is filming in an abandoned building without a permit, kind of echoing their own real lives, and it's going to be demolished tomorrow, and the crew that's going to demolish it tomorrow is also there murdering somebody because they're all gangsters, and then they see the film crew, and then the film crew has to survive against these gangsters. But luckily, they were filming an action movie, and one of them can fight, and so he's kicking everybody. It's like really, really aggressively inventive for the money amount filmmaking, in my opinion. So check out his stuff. I went from like, this is a mediocre movie to 100% in his camp. So yeah, Dune Drifter and Night Shooters at least, and then see what else you may like. That's what I got this week.
I recommend, speaking of Mark Price, that if any gamers out there are playing NBA 2K against their 12-year-old daughter, they should pick like the 92, 93 Cavs so they can use Mark Price to just rain trays.
There you go.
Making films, making baskets.
The kind of hot video game tips and tricks you can only get on Insert Credit. Now, before I do my recommendations, I would like to ask you a question, Jesse, because you might be the only person in the world who actually knows the answer to this. In 2026, does asking people to rate and review your podcast actually do anything?
I think it helps. I think there are so few levers to pull. I mean, the truth is, if you're out there and you love this podcast, the number one thing you can do to help is tell an actual real life person in real life that you like this podcast. If you are listening to this podcast because you choose not to talk to other real people in real life, which is most podcast listeners and certainly most video game podcast listeners, then as an alternative, I would say rating and reviewing the podcast, especially in Apple Podcasts, will make a big difference. The thing is like Apple Podcasts, because Apple is actually okay about privacy, they don't actually know how many times you listen to a show. So they just kind of have to infer it by how many people are clicking on the show in the store and how many people are reviewing the podcast. And so if you review it, it does give a pretty big bump in the charts relatively to that show. So I think that's still the case. And Apple Podcasts is still the top podcast platform, depending on how you feel, depending on how you count YouTube. So I would say it is worth doing. And I will say also, like, if you're a podcaster, you're talking into a void. And I'm sure that these three wonderful hosts and the fourth host who I murdered and whose place I took would probably love to hear your positive thoughts about the show, because we don't interact with you directly that much. So it's always really nice to see a review pop up in iTunes that has some specific positive thing about the show. It's very meaningful.
Makes my whole day whenever I see one. So that's one of my recommendations. I'd also like to recommend that you go over to Patreon to experience the Patreon experience. You can get your monthly bonus episodes. You get your question form, all other kinds of things. Special thanks this week to our donors, Only Ghosts, Kyle Brown, Corey, Alexander Davies, Willa Roar, Kevin Morell, Jordan Thornquest, Death Strandicoot, Sammy, Sean Patrick, Plasma Goose, and The Sam. You can also join our community at forums.insertcredit.com, where I got a lot of these costumes and outfits for our characters this week, or watch the show on youtube.com/insertcreditshow. This episode is edited by Esper Quinn with music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Ash Parrish.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
I was Jesse Thorn.
And your game has now been saved. So now
we did it.
Shut off your computer. Well, no, not yet.